Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty back with some more unicorn diamond painting. As promised, this time we will be talking about RPGs. I'm so not sure what I'm supposed to put for these little pink ones. They all blend together. I'm finally doing the pink corner so my finger will stop sticking to these. But I swear they look like they're the same size. So, even though when I first started gaming on the SNES, because NES is just a bunch of random different games, I mostly just played fighting games, but I only played them for the story. And then we got a copy of Super Mario RPG, which I love. So that was my gateway into RPGs. And I kept seeing more and more in the gaming magazines and whatnot. Gosh, I hope I'm using the right size. And so one of my other favorite RPGs, that was one of my earliest ones, was a game called Threads of Fate. That corner looks really weird. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, I love Threads of Fate. I am also really into the Wild Arms series, which just does not get the attention it deserves. I have never played a lot of the bigger known RPGs like Fire Emblem. First Fire Emblem game I ever played was Awakening. I liked it well enough, but like when I tried to replay it, I didn't really enjoy it, and I thought Fates, I hated all the localization stuff they did with that game. I don't know why they did that. They changed so much for seemingly no reason. And yeah, don't do that kind of stuff. Three Houses was alright. Did not really... Kind of wish there were aspects of the writing that was better. Also, I hate the female character's outfit. Why? Why did they make her wear that ridiculous thing with the giant pilgrim collar and the midriff oddly exposed, and those freaky tights? Just not my kind of style. Really like the Persona series. Thought 5 was a little too depressing, and can they give us another female character already? Main character? That's what I thought Kasumi was going to be. She even looks like the protagonist of Persona 3. Persona 3 is my favorite, the portable version, except for the ending. I hate the ending. Still, I'm not sure I'm using the right rhinestones for these ones. But the rest of the more properly titled Shin Megami Tensei games, I am not a big fan of. I hated 4. I thought 4 was terrible. Soul Hackers, I thought, was interesting at first, but they didn't go anywhere with it. I love the Devil Survivor games. Mostly the first one. The second one was just okay. I felt that the situation was less enjoyable. They kept trying to force our path too much. And one of the things I liked about the first Devil Survivor was that you had a bit more freedom in what you chose to do. Who you chose to talk to. Here, you can talk to pretty much anyone whenever. Love the battle system in those games, though, and the fusion system. Am I gonna need more wax soon? RPGs are probably one of the biggest backlogs of games that I have. That's so many freaking games I need to play for that. Like a bunch of the Suikoden games, Breath of Fire. I've been like trying to play some of the Tales games. I have so many of those that I've never even touched or have only played the beginning of. I beat Tales of Eternia ages ago, and recently I beat Tales of Berseria. Berseria I thought was another one that was way too depressing. I've been playing Zestiria, but I don't really have much of an opinion on it yet. I think I'm gonna need another wax refill soon. I'm kind of sad we never got Tales of Rebirth. I've heard good things about that one. I really do have way too many Tales games. Like, I got so many of them for, like, holidays and whatnot. I also have Fire Emblem Echoes. So I do need to get around to playing that at some point. Let's see, what other RPGs do I have? I think I have Shining Force, if that's any good. I guess Miitopia probably counts as an RPG. What else do I have? I got up way too early today. It's so much easier if I had a notepad. I keep telling myself I should write down notes for this kind of thing, but I have so many notebooks, but not really a lot of notepads. So let's see. I know I have a Ephemeral Fantasia, is it called, on the backlog. I still need to be Chrono Trigger, too. I have the original PlayStation version of that game. I beat Chrono Cross years ago, but never beat Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger I played for the first time years after Chrono Cross. And I got stuck, and I can't say where I got stuck because it's a spoiler, but there's a part where you have to do a thing, and I can't figure out how to do the thing. So it's like very frustrating. Like, this was back before I had access to like any kind of guide. That was the same thing that happened with like Final Fantasy IX. That part where you're in the desert and you gotta look for that castle. I could not find that freaking castle. So I didn't play the game again for years. Turns out you have to sink into the sand dune to find the castle. I don't know how I was supposed to know to do that. But, so, it turns out that was right near the end of the game, so when I finally started replaying years later, I beat the game in like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Kind of underwhelming. I got the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, when I saw how gorgeous Advent Children looked, it's like, how did they take so long to remake this game? But I don't want to play the remake until I've played the original. I mean, I know the big spoiler, but I actually don't know anything about the rest of the game. Like, I played it years ago, but I stopped when I got to Red 13's home. I don't really know why I stopped. It was just one of those moments where you just kind of put it down and you don't pick it back up. It happened with Persona 4 Golden, but I did eventually finish that. Final Fantasy is another series where I have so many games on the backlog. Outside of 9, I think the only one I've beaten are 10 and 10-2. Because I saw a trailer for, which I think was probably 10-2, and it had a really cool song with it. So that made me really want to play 10, because I didn't realize it was actually 10-2. Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts, that's another one. Kingdom Hearts is such a surprisingly great game. Like, you don't really expect it's going to be. So it's like, oh, it's an RPG with Disney characters. But it's actually pretty great. I have some of those games on backlog too. Like, I finished 1 and 2 and the Game Boy Advance version of Chain of Memories. Oh yeah, and the recoded game. I think the recoded game is better than just watching the recoded movie. Because that reveal of the hooded figure is done way better. And if you've played the game, you hopefully know what I mean, because I can't say who it is, because spoilers. I played an RPG called Hoshigami, like Ruined Blue Earth or something. I hated that game. I have to replay it. Also really hated Astonish Story or whatever. That was a really... It was just a really annoying one. Like, it was way too hard. And, like, I've played RPGs, you know. But that game... Like, I died so many times. I played Beyond the Beyond, but that was mostly a forgettable one. I need more wax. Where did my wax go? Here it is. This poor wax is, like, dead. The other wax for the stickers was way superior to this. All these pink rhinestones landed right side up. Or wrong side up, I guess. Oh my gosh, get off my pen. I know the pink rhinestones like this look really weird and uneven. And like I said, there's no guide. I don't even know if I'm putting these, if these are the ones I'm supposed to be putting here. But I mean, I can't imagine I have to put the littler ones here, so they look like they go in the other circles. It's another rhinestone. Must have got two in that one. Ugh. Lost my train of thought for a minute there. Whew. RPGs. I still need to play RFL. That was another PSN game I grabbed when it was on sale. Oh, I finally remembered that horror game. One of the horror games that I should have talked about, Dead Island. But, oh well, what are you gonna do? I played Paper Mario also a while back. I thought it was enjoyable enough. Like, story-wise, I didn't like it as much as I liked Super Mario RPG. You know, I think it's an outrage we have not gotten, like, a Switch port of that game. Like, I don't know what's up with that. I think it's something with, like, Square and Nintendo. But it's like, you're both, like, super big, powerful companies. Just give us the game, and also make a Threads of Fate sequel while you're at it. Because, like, you know, that ending hinted at one. I also played the Pokemon games, but, like, I like Pokemon a lot, as much as the next person, but they really need to work on the stories of those games. Because, like, I find that most of the stories and the characters are completely forgettable. I'm actually playing through Ultra Moon right now. It's definitely one of the harder ones. It's one of the only ones where I feel like I have to actually change my team up. But I only want cute Pokemon. So I ended up with like 20,000 garden types and had to find ways to get other types into my team. Oh my gosh, another gem landed upside down. Like, I don't even remember half of my teams. Like, Flowy. And, I know I have Sylveon. I love Sylveon. Of Mawile. Love Mawile. I needed an electric type, so I just got a Pikachu. I missed my Pikachu from the other game with, like, the pink ribbon. It's like the special, like, fashion Pikachu or whatever that was. Oh, I have Love Disc. And that other freaking fish. It's like blue with like, or it's like black with like blue accents. And, oh, I also have the keys. That from that ghost place. Because I need types that aren't grass. Oh, I have Gyarados as well, because you gotta have a Gyarados. For people that are curious, my starter in that game was the blue water dog thing. My very first Pokemon starter was Squirtle. That reminds me of another RPG for some reason that is completely unrelated. Legend of Zelda. I guess it's kind of related, because, like, one of my big complaints about the Zelda series is, like, they always have interesting gameplay, but I feel some of the games, the story's a little lacking. Probably my favorite Zelda game is Ocarina of Time. I still have never beaten Majora's Mask. I hate games that do that time reset mechanic, especially when I'm trying to catch fairies, and I can't find one fairy in the dungeon, and then I die. Well, not die, but, like, time resets. That's really maddening. But I am happy that Skyward Sword is also getting a release on a different console. I don't know what that originally came out for. It might have been Wii. I feel like it was Wii U, though, but I never got one. I mean, I have a Wii, I never had Skyward Sword. I'm almost done with the pink ones. Thank goodness. I'm sticking to the canvas a lot less. Oh, I also really like Link to the Past. Like, I don't think there's much to it story-wise, but it's a fun game. I liked Link Between Worlds as well. You know, I remember playing Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, when I was a kid. First of all, even as an adult, I cannot figure out where to go at the beginning of the game. I need to, like, consult a strategy guide. But I just remember that one village, I think my dad had gotten to it, where if you stabbed the townspeople, they would turn into bats. Anyone remember that? That was, like, an impactful childhood memory. I remember another RPG I liked, Star Tropics. I don't know if that's actually considered an RPG. I consider it an RPG. Platforming in that game was really hard, though. The NES controller was not designed for diagonal stuff, so you'd fall a lot. I also consider Silhouette Mirage an RPG, but I think most people would consider that like a shooter-type game. That's what I should have talked about in the horror game review. The Resident Evil shooters. Oh well. Save those for the Resident Evil video. Ugh. Oh my gosh, my leg is cramping up. I need to stretch my leg for a second. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna need to sit down after this. It's so sore. Either that or I gotta figure out a way I can sit down while I'm recording this. Because, like, I hate not being able to see the camera, you know? Because it's like, what if, because y'all have seen how many times I accidentally move this picture out of frame. So it's like, I gotta make sure that I can see what I am doing. Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna stop after I do these pink ones. Oh my gosh, my poor little leg. Ugh. It's in so much pain. Ugh. Oof. Oh, that did not get one there. So, where were we? Talking about RPGs and my horribly sore leg. Oh, I also really like Rhapsody, the musical adventure. That's an RPG not enough people know about. If you get it, though, get the original PlayStation version. Don't get that DS re-release. They ripped us off, and they lied to us. Like, I could do a whole video talking about how mad I am at NIS America for that nonsense. I probably will at some point because I want more people to know that game exists. But, like, the original PlayStation version had so much to it. Like, had a big full-color manual, which games don't have manuals anymore. And... oof. Oh my gosh, rhinestones falling again. Well, at least some of them landed right side up. See if I can throw those on there. But, so, the original game had, like, that manual, came with the soundtrack, had an in-game version of the soundtrack you could listen to as well. You could have English or Japanese song vocals, which was a big deal back then. Like, if you were into RPGs, then you know that, like, if there was even a song that was in Japanese in a game, more often than not, it would just get replaced with an instrumental. So the fact that we got both the English and Japanese songs for that was amazing. You know, I think a lot of games back then didn't even have, like audio at all, like spoken audio and whatnot. And then there were a bunch of games in that series that never got released in America, and some of that content was in the DS port, and it was advertised on NIS America's site, and they used that as an excuse as to why they couldn't have both languages for the songs, because, like, oh, we couldn't get the voice actors back. And so basically the bonus content was not there, and they lied and were like, oh, we just translated the Japanese site directly, we didn't mean it. It's like, you mentioned it in an interview, in several interviews. You used it as an excuse for why you couldn't give us the song lyrics, the songs in dual languages, like. So it was really frustrating that they lied. You know, like, I hate when companies do stuff like that. Let's get these rhinestones that fell back in there. I need to replenish my wax as well. Oh my gosh, they're so tiny. Ugh. Let's see, other RPGs I've played. I had a bit of Star Ocean. Only one I've ever beaten is Star Ocean 2. I think I only beat the PSP re-release, because the first, the original Star Ocean 2, I got to a certain point and then my disc would not work. I eventually did get the broken disc replaced, but I just never went back. Oh my gosh, now the wax fell into the rhinestones, and now they are sticking to it. Oh my gosh. Eh. Oh, stop going upside down. Oh my gosh, I'm really looking forward to having to do these really tiny ones later. I guess they're all covered in wax. Ugh. Ugh, I don't even have a chair I can sit on. Oof. So, Star Ocean. What's this? Something stuck to my canvas. So, Star Ocean. Star Ocean 2's like big claim to fame was like, oh, look at us, we have 88 different endings, but it's more like, depending on which characters you have relationships with, you'll get like a collection of endings. Like, then the main game's ending is pretty much the same, but you'll get like scenes like, oh, where are the characters now, type of thing. And like, I'm not replaying this game a bunch of times to try and get the different scenes. There also didn't feel like there was much point to there being 2 playable characters. Like, they're together most of the time. I mean, like, you can choose which character to play as in your party, but like, when you start the game, you pick either Claude or Rena. I played a little bit of Star Ocean 3, I think it was, and a little bit of Star Ocean 1. It's another thing of me putting down a game and then not picking it back up. Speaking of space games, still have not played Xenogears, but did beat all of Xenosaga. Too much of that series is shut away in like Japan-only bonus materials. Like the mobile game Pied Piper, which if you're going to play Xenosaga you should check out. Or like, we never got the Missing Year Flash movie, despite the fact that they keep referencing it in the 3rd game. Oh my gosh, I'm sticking to the canvas again. I think I'll have to do whites at some point. Still not even remotely done with pinks. Well, at least the video's only 26 minutes. I dropped the rhinestone. Where did it go? When these rhinestones land sideways, you just will never find them again. Oh, there it is. Ugh. Landed near the pinks too, but not where I need it. Oh. This painting is coming out pretty nice, but it is a lot of work. I kind of don't think these bigger diamond paintings are going to be a staple of this channel. Like, there's a certain enjoyment factor, but when coupled with trying to find things to talk about and standing for an hour on end, it's not that fun. And like, yeah, I mentioned this, I'm pretty sure, in part 1, but I don't see a kid enjoying this. Like, it requires so much patience, and then like, you're gonna have to store like the beads and the wax and everything somewhere when you, because like, I don't think any kid would do this in one sitting. Kids don't have that kind of patience. And maybe some do, but I can't imagine I would have as a kid. Oop. Oh, there's another rhinestone. That's a blue. What's that doing there? Yeah. Well, we're getting closer with the pinks at least. Oh my gosh, am I out of wax again? Yeah, my hand is blocking the thing. I'm almost done with the unicorn's hair. Thank goodness. I'm so thirsty. Ooh, finally done with the hair. Now what's left is this one little corner. Because not finishing the colors drives me crazy. Especially since then you have to find somewhere to sit the beads while you're not using them. And it's like, please don't let the tray spill. Because like, I don't want to deal with that. It's bad enough when they spill on the table. I don't know what kind of games I'm going to talk about for the next video. Because it seems to be the theme for this unicorn painting is talking about my video games. I guess I could talk about fighting games, but as much as I used to play them as a child, I don't think I could sustain a whole video on those. Kind of fell out of playing them lately, too. They were quickly replaced by RPGs. Because I haven't played any RPGs in a while. Except for that Pokemon game. Well, I guess I was playing Jicandia for PSP. I think that kind of counts as an RPG. That is a very frustrating RPG. That's another one of them ones with, like, Majora's Mask that does that time thing. It's maddening. Oh my gosh, I dropped another rhinestone. Ugh. Oh, there it is. Fell on the star. Throw it in there in the corner. Oof, almost done. Oh my gosh, what is this black thing that keeps getting on my canvas? Leaving unsightly spots, too. I think it might be coming from the canvas itself. Ugh. Do not care for that. That is weird. Ugh. Don't really know what kind of review to give these. Oh my gosh. Like, I kind of think it's bogus that it did not come with any instructions at all. And you're just supposed to magically know what to do, especially since this is supposed to be like a for kids thing, and it's like, don't the kids need to know what they're supposed to do? Almost. Let's see if I could think of any other RPG related commentary. Get my leg in the stretch. Oh, I guess I could say I made an RPG with RPG Maker for PlayStation. It was a present for my sister. She really liked it, and it was pretty cool. I'd love to find a way to get that recorded. I don't know anything about recording a PlayStation to a computer, though. If I could figure out how to do that, that would be really cool. Because, like, it'd be nice to have that, like, saved. I don't even know if the memory card still works. It would suck if it didn't. Like, in general, though, like, I have a lot of complaints about the more recent RPG Maker games. Like, they released one for 3DS, and then they released one for Switch. Well, I think the Switch one came out in a bunch of consoles. 3DS one is probably the more fun to play. But for both of them, there's no way to make money off of your RPGs. And I think, like, Nintendo has some clause that technically gives them ownership of your content, which is kind of shady. The 3DS version has a bunch of, like, bonus packs you can buy, but I feel like a lot of its content that should have been in the game from the start, and some of those bonus packs feel kind of incomplete. Like, the horror pack has very few characters, and while there are palette swaps for the characters themselves, like, their portrait sprites don't have the same thing. And it's like, what's up with that? And then RPG Maker MV for Switch, on my Switch Lite, I've played both the physical and digital versions, and I actually got refunded for the digital version, because that was terrible. There's a lot of lag, it's overly confusing, there's no guide at all to help you figure out what the heck you're supposed to be doing. There's all these limits in regards to, like, save slots and whatnot. And there's just so much about that entry that really irritates me. Like, I'd love to make and share video games, but I don't know. Like, and I don't want to do it with, like, the the PC versions, because I don't really like playing RPGs on a PC. Like, if you can play it with a controller, that'd be one thing. But doing it with a keyboard does not appeal to me. My gosh, it's still so many, even though we're almost done. Ugh. I got another RPG for my sister. I'm trying to make with the 3DS RPG Maker, but it is taking forever, and I keep putting it off. I gotta get back to that, because I got some really great ideas, I think, for it. Just hope she likes it if I ever manage to get it done. Oh my gosh, we're almost done with this. At least the pink parts, anyway. Oh, the big pink ones. Still got those little tiny ones. Almost. Just a couple more. Well, not a couple more, but trying to power through this. You guys are getting the full diamond painting experience here. Oh. So yeah, I don't know what we will be talking about next time. You will have to stay tuned. I say next time, but this is probably, I think that's the last pink one. This is probably going to be, oh my gosh, the ear has one.